Hello, special people. I want to welcome you back to this channel. You all guys are special to me, and that is why I appreciate you, especially most of you who are following my tutorial videos. If you are new to this channel, this is Electric Aid. My name is Anams. Pay attention to our tutorial videos and don't allow anything to distract you. There was a guy that asked question concerning deck piping, and the other requested that I prepare a tutorial video on deck piping. Before you commence electrical conduit piping on the deck, remember this work you are commencing will be done before the casting of that particular deck. There are steps, there are things you need to do. Let's go back to the preparation of the working drawing. You need to see the site, you need to get the electrical floor plan, you need to prepare your working drawing, your electrical conduit layout drawing, you need to prepare it. So after preparing this, you need to make sure that the site engineer or whosoever that is responsible must have used the structural biscuit to lift the metal structure of that particular deck, and the structure has been lifted to a particular cm, like 2 cm, and the structural biscuit has been installed. Then also make sure that you take care of your own safety before you commence work.
In deck piping, we need to go under the building, under the deck, and check the places that are to be piped. You need to check where your switches will be located. You need to check where the ACs will be, the water heaters at the bathroom, the sockets. If you want to pipe the sockets on the deck, fine. Then if you want to pipe the sockets, do a floor piping for the socket so that the tiles or the tiling will cover it. Then in that case, you need to come around and check how work progresses so that your pipes on the floor don't get damaged by other workers. So in most cases, electricians prefer piping on the deck, water heaters, the cooker, all the sockets, the lighting, everything. If you happen to be around, then you can make use of the floor piping. Most people, when they do the piping on the deck, the DB, the distribution board, they cut the top, and the male bushes will no longer be fitted into the distribution boards. It's advisable not to damage your board, even if you want to pipe everything on the deck. Make sure that your distribution board is not damaged, such that at the end of the day, the male bushes will still be fitted into the distribution board so that you don't damage your wires when you are fishing them.
Now, I want to take you to the drawing at my back, the working drawing at my back, so that I can show you some of the things and how to start the work. In fact, this particular sketch is a work that was done, and I'm going to show you the video of the work. We are going to visit the site and see how it was done. But here I need to explain this before we get into the site. Now, here we want to make this video short. So for the purpose of reducing the time of this particular video, we are going to concentrate ourselves with the piping of the lighting points. Remember, it is not ideal for us to take the dining, for instance, to take the living room and make it one circuit, make this room one circuit, the kitchen one circuit, the dining one circuit. It will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circuits. It may not make any sense. This is a 2-bedroom apartment. I'm going to show you, I'm going to explain everything here. I use this double line to indicate where the windows are. Then I use this opening for the doors. Like this one is a double door. Here is the living room. Here is the sit out, the entry to the living room. Here is the living room. This is a walkway. That leads to all the rooms. Here is room. This is room 1. This is room 2. These are the rooms. Then here is a bathroom. Here is bathroom. Here is bathroom for visitors. Here is the kitchen. Here is the dining. Here is the balcony. This is the balcony. This is the walkway. So yes, this is a store. A store that is close to the kitchen. Here is our DB. Our DB is located either here or here. Here is the dining. let's start from the dining, because in the practical video we started from the dining. So this dining has two wall brackets. In fact, this building, the owner of the building needed wall brackets. Look at our wall brackets here. These are wall brackets. In the living room we have 3 wall brackets, 1, 2, 3. At the dining we have 2 wall brackets. At the balcony we have just the lighting point, is not a wall bracket. At the kitchen it is not wall bracket. The wall brackets are in the rooms, the room and the living room, that's the parlor. So here we have 2 wall brackets at room 2. Room 1 we have 2 wall brackets. Just pay attention. We have 2 wall brackets here, and there may be a fan hook here, there, and here. So this is the toilet. Circuit 1. Look at our switch. This switch is going to control these 2 lighting points here, and from this particular switch we connected to this. Now with our circuit will move from this particular dining to the balcony. It moves to the balcony, from the balcony to the kitchen. From the kitchen, this switch here is going to light this balcony, while this particular switch is going to light the kitchen. Now our mains will move from either this way or from there. It will move from here to this switch, from this switch to this switch, from this switch to this particular one, and from here to this, and from here to this particular switch. Going from this side, we have the bathroom. Look at the bathroom. Look at this room 2. Now this room 2 has 2 wall brackets and a fan hook here at the center. Then our mains traveling from the DP firstly visit this lobby or this walkway. Here we have a light here at the lobby. Now this switch will control this. The mains will travel to this switch, and from here our mains will travel from this switch to this particular switch that will light this particular bulb at the store. Now the mains will travel from this particular one down to this switch. Now here at this switch, for most of you who are professionals, you know that this wall bracket can actually come up, and under the wall bracket you can connect your switch. This switch will light this and light this, and this switch can also be connected to this particular one, this switch here. It can be linked together, or if you don't want that, what you need to do is to connect another pipe that will come here, so that your neutral can travel through this pipe. But here, this switch will light this light or this bulb at the bathroom. So continuing, this is one circuit. If you like, before you commence the work, you may need to count your lighting points. So if you count the lighting point for this particular circuit, you see 1, 2, 3. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. If they are energy bulbs, of course they are going to be energy bulbs. If they are energy bulbs, they are okay. So there are 9 lighting points in this particular circuit. The second circuit we have 1, 2. This is the third one, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At the entrance to this building, this is the sit out. So here, from our DP, we are starting from this particular light. This is a switch. So this switch is going to control this light here, and from here we'll travel to this particular switch. We'll travel to this particular lighting point. So here now, this switch here is going to control this light and this light. It's going to control this and this. So here, this switch is going to travel this way to this particular switch. So when it gets to this point, this switch will light up this, and there will be another switch here, or maybe this switch will be under this wall bracket It will be under this wall bracket, or you may have another switch here that will link to this. So this will control this, and it will also link to this. One thing that is very important is that your neutral may travel through this only when it is very smooth. The installation between your conduit pipes and your boxes are smooth, meaning that the meshings that you install are original that you should install. If you know that you don't install meshings at all, I advise you to avoid letting your neutral travel through your switches. At some places you cannot do that. So, but here, a lot of electricians do it by installing their bushes between this switch and this switch. You know that there are two bushes, so this one can travel through this, and there are bushes between this particular pipe, that connects this box. Likewise here, so it can be done. And when you are installing your wires, it is done very carefully. So here we can also travel back from here. We can travel back when this gets to this and link to this. Another mesh can either go from here or from here to this particular switch. And this switch is going to also connect to our wall bracket. It's going to connect to the wall bracket, and another pipe. This pipe will come here, another one will come here, or this one will have its separate box that will light it while you connect the two of them. It is either way. Some may like to connect this pipe and this pipe all to this one. I'm going to show you how it is done on site, but before then, I also need to tell you that there are some tools that you need. Let me remind us about the tools that we need. The tools that we need here, one is our bending spring. We need our bending spring, so I use it to bend your conduit pipes. Secondly, we need our saw blade or your hacksaw. Thirdly, you need your hammer. You need you need some nails. The nails will be used in positioning, for the positioning of the boxes at the point where you need them to be. Because if your boxes are not well positioned, when you are connecting other places, or by the time it is being cast, when the casting is being carried out, your boxes may shift to different points. You need your cutter to cut your binding wires. You need your pliers or your cutter, so that when you cut, you can bind it to the nail. I'm going to show you how to do that. Another thing is the material. The materials you need, already we know the materials that are needed.
What do we need to get that done? Here, if you take a look at this picture now, or this video, you see the pipe. This is electrical pipes, one bundle of electrical pipe. Here is the coupling or the couplers. This one is the four-way boxes. We'll be using the four-way boxes. Look at our gum here. Look at our spring and our blade. These are the things we will be using. You need to go under it and check and know the rooms you are to pipe. Let's start from here. After the sitting room, you get the bathroom. This is a bathroom. This is a bathroom. Here is another room. Here is a bathroom. Here is the visitors. Here is the kitchen. Sorry. Here is the kitchen. Here is the kitchen. Here is the store. Here is the central area where you want to enter any room. You must get to this point. It leads to the walkway. So here we have two bathrooms, one at the left and the other at the right. The one at the left is supposed to be for the visitors. So now we are going to start with dropping off our boxes. This is the kitchen. This is the kitchen. We are going to make use of one light at the kitchen. But at the kitchen, we're going to have two switches. It will have two switches. Here we'll have one light here at the store. Here we'll have one light. In this room we're going to we'll have wall brackets, 2 wall brackets, and there will be a fan. So this is where the fan will be located. Just take a look. This is the fan hook here, the rod for the fan hook. Then here we have the bathroom. One lighting point here. This is another room where we will have 2 wall brackets. So this is the fan hook. One there. This is a bathroom. We'll have one lighting point. This is another bathroom. We'll have another lighting point at the middle. This is the men's sitting room. Here we're going to have 4 lighting points. 4 lighting points. The 4 lighting points will be wall brackets. So, but here we're supposed to have a fan hook here, then another fan hook here. This to raise the metal structures a little such that our pipes will be able to enter under the metal structures. Here is our structural biscuit. We are going to lift the structures and our structural members and put it under them so that our pipes will be able to pass through without being damaged. If you take a look, we have been able to lift the structural members. We are going to start with piping. This is how to lift it. We've been able to lift this part. If you take a closer look, you'll see that the structural members have been lifted a bit, 2 inches above the board. Our pipes are going to travel under the structural members, the iron, to avoid damages, so that even if it is matched by other workers, it will not damage. Or maybe during the casting, there will be no breakages, there will be no blockage. So let's get started with the piping. We have started with the piping and we started with the dining. So if you look at the dining, we linked the dining with the balcony and the kitchen. For now, we are going to look at the circuit we just completed. If you take a look, you are going to see the piping we just did on half of the deck. Viewers, you are welcome back. We are through with the lighting, the piping of one circuit, which included the dining, the balcony, the kitchen store, and one of the rooms at the back. So these are meant to be one circuit. Now, the second circuit, I'll show you the second circuit. The second circuit starts from the parlor. Look at the second circuit. The second circuit starts from the parlor, the sit out. You can see the sit out here. See the sit out. Then we have the one lighting point. Look at the passage, the entrance to the parlor. That is the entrance to the parlor. This point is where our DB should be. Going on with the second circuit, after the parlor, the visitor's toilet, we get the toilet to the last room. Now we're going to go down. under this deck, and I will be able to show you how this will be done.
At this point, we have come to the end of this video. I want to appreciate you. I want to thank you for watching. If you are just joining us for the very first time, you're welcome to this channel. And if you like what we are doing here, you can give us a thumbs up, share with other people who may need it out there, subscribe so that you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. And if you have comments that you need to share, you have questions, you have experiences you need to share with us, remember we are all learning. Feel free to ask for questions and remain blessed.